for this one is back in Ohio. It seems like a lot of haunting things for me have happened in Ohio. This was with Kathy from the other story, and we went down to Mansfield Prison where they filmed the Shawshank Redemption. It's a known haunted location. I'm not making this part up. It's just, that's part of the attraction, is it was a prison. A lot of bad stuff happened there, but it's also extremely haunted, and a movie was filmed there. I think a couple. I think there was a scene from Air Force One that was filmed there too. Anyway, we go there. I would never go there. I'm a sensitive and a medium, and I would never go there at night. That's just me. And I'm a pretty badass, I feel like, medium and sensitive, and I would never go there at night. There's so many people. So, spirits. So anyway, we go there during the day. It's an impressive building. If you can ever get to it, it's worth it. If you love history, if you love all that, maybe not the spirits, but the building itself is amazing. Falling apart, but amazing. So we get there, huge building. I've never experienced anything like this before, but she's a sensitive as well. We get out of the car, and I walk up, and we're about, oh gosh, maybe 100 feet from the building. I don't even remember anymore. We were close, but not that close. I mean, it's a huge building. I hit this wall of energy, and I went, oh my God, like you could feel it, like you could push. I've never felt, it's the only place. I've been to a lot of places, a lot of haunted areas, and I have never felt that. There's so much energy there. It is a physical thing, so much. Meanwhile, we're getting catcalled by hundreds, definitely tens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s guys. I could hear them all screaming at us, all here, just like it was still a working prison. I could hear them all. They knew we could see them, or maybe they didn't even care if we could see them or not. I went, oh hell. I've gone to haunted places that had 1, 2, several ghosts, but never all at, one time, and never all screaming at us, and never all not the nicest of people either in life. So not nice people in death. So this was a huge, crazy experience for me, and I wasn't prepared. I don't think I ever prepared myself for what actually I was going into. So we get in the building, and it was like I could feel spirit in the hallway. So they asked us what kind of tour we wanted. We said we just want to do a self-tour. So me and her walked around this place. I'm telling you, so many spirits there. We went to the jail. I don't know what wing it was, but they have the stacks of cells and everything. So we did that first, and we were, mind you, there are other tour people walking around, tourists, just no guided tour, but I mean, people walking around at different levels. Not a lot, but they're scattered. Some people brought kids to this. Anyway, so we're walking. I remember we were going down the stairwell to get to one of the other floors, and someone pushed me. I think I might have been pregnant at the time, but I don't remember. Anyway, I was pushed, energetically pushed, and I didn't say anything to her, but thank God I had a grip on the rail, and I caught myself, and I kind of caught myself before anything bad happened, and I walked to the bottom, and I heard a man chuckling in my head. He thought it was hilarious, and I said in my head, nobody effing touches me. Nobody. This is off limits. No one touches me again. Mind you, the rest of the trip, nobody touched. One spirit did touch me again, but not in a harmful way. Anyway, I wasn't having it, and I was at a point where I feel like I can tell this isn't happening. This isn't playing. So, and then Kathy came down behind me, and she went, I was just pushed on the stairs, and I went, and I don't think my push showed, because I caught myself so fast, so I don't think it really showed. Anyway, she said she was pushed. I go, I was just pushed. And then she was like, no way. And I go, yeah. So anyway, and then when we were walking down one of the stairwells, and we filmed some of it, I do have video and pictures from it somewhere. I remember at one point on one of the stairwells we were talking, and we were popping in and out of cells. I was anyway. She was too scared. Some of them on this one side facing the parking lot, they didn't feel as scary or as intimidating. So I would walk, and it was daylight, so I would walk in, stand a little bit, and walk back out. She wouldn't even do that, but that's okay. We were on one of the floors on one end, and I saw somebody walk out. They were all black, but at the time it never occurred to me that that wasn't a person. I saw somebody walk out, turn, look at us, and then go back. I thought it was a tourist. So I was like, okay, you know, it was just they were probably coming from the other side and walking around type of thing. So anyway, didn't say anything. I just tourist. So we were walking pretty quickly because she didn't want to be there anymore, and so we were going to make a big U and come back the other side where that guy came from. And we did the U. We did it pretty quickly. I mean, it's a long stretch, but we did it pretty quickly. And we turned and turned again, and there was nobody on the other side. Nobody. Now, unless that other tourist booked it with their family or whoever they came with and got the hell out of there really fast, then that could have happened. But then I realized that I was probably seeing a spirit. Otherwise, because it doesn't make any sense how anybody could have gotten out, looked, and went back by the time we had crossed over. And anyway, that whole other side, scary as hell. That whole other side was a completely different energy than the other side. We realized we were practically running out of there. Maybe that's what happened to the other tourists. Maybe there was a tourist there and they felt it too. I don't know. We couldn't get out of there fast enough. It was a completely different set of spirit energy on that other side. So we got out of there. And then we were walking where I think Shawshank Redemption filmed the library scene, or maybe the cafeteria scene. I don't remember because they have little posts. Anyway, it's this room, and there was nobody in there with us. It's this, you walk in, and there's no other way out. There is only one door into this big cement room, and there's like little rooms attached, but there's no way out. You have to go out the door we came in. So we're standing there talking, and we hear footsteps, boot footsteps in one of the rooms near us, and we both froze because we were the only tourists in that room. We didn't. She looked like she was gonna faint on me, and she was a lot taller than me, a lot bigger than me. And so I kind of crept over there, and there was nobody in that room. I was going, unless the tour people have figured out a way to have, you know, like little trap doors where they could jump in and do stuff and then leave again. But you couldn't. There's no way. There's no way. It's a cement falling apart room. You'd see the trap doors. That was it. There's just no way. So I stayed there. I didn't want to leave because I thought that was so cool, and I was kind of brave being during the day. So I kept talking. She's like, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go. And I'm like, no, this is awesome. Let's see if they do anything else. And all of a sudden you could hear crash, boom, come from that room. Like somebody had just grabbed a whole bunch of plaster and just slammed it to the floor. And she's like, we gotta go, we gotta go. Like she's barely holding it together. And I'm like, no, we got it. And I'm actually trying to be brave about this. Like, no, and then it did it again. Like you could feel the force behind it. Like it was in no other, it was saying, get out. This man did not want us there anymore. And that we both went, okay, we're out. We just walked, we got the hell out of there. And so then we went to somewhere during the day. I don't remember the entire trip, but I remember going to solitary confinement. That is, I didn't like that energy at all. You couldn't have paid me enough money to go in any of those cells. There was so much there. I just didn't even want to be there anymore. I walked in, I did part of solitary confinement and got immediately out. That is a whole place that I would never want to be in the dark at all. We went to the chapel, what used to be the prison chapel, and I feel like something happened in there. I just don't remember anymore what happened in that chapel, but you could definitely feel spirit in there. I remember it being full of people. Oh, and then we went to the administration side where the non-prisoners were, and when we were standing there and we were walking up this step, I smelled cologne, and I'm like, what the hell? And I turned to Kathy because she was coming up behind me, and she goes, I smell it too. And I'm like, what is that? And I'm like, can they pump smells in? Do you think there's a way? And we're looking around trying to see if there was vents or things that they could pump a cologne or a smell, because there weren't. Okay, it could be a tourist. Don't get me wrong. It could have been another tourist that had really a lot of cologne on, but there weren't any tourists around us, and that is some cologne if it could stay that poignant in a big, vaulted, old-timey administration. I mean, high ceilings and everything. I'd be really impressed. But in that moment, I felt like it was a security guard. Like, I just felt like it was an old man, old security guard that we could, and that we were smelling his cologne. And I immediately got, take a picture, take a picture, take a picture. Somebody was telling me, take a picture, take a picture, take a picture. So I just went, I have to take a, so I took a picture of what they wanted me to take a picture of. I think there's something in that photo. To this day, people are like, oh, it's just something on the wall. Oh, it's just this. It's just, and I swear to God, it looks like a woman floating high up near the ceiling to me, and with a big old hair and a bun on top. That's what I see, but they only, I mean, I get where they're coming from as a skeptic. You're looking at somebody else's photo, and maybe it could be anything, but I know there was nothing there on that wall when I took it. So, I don't know. No proof. None of these stories have proof. So, I remember walking through other areas, but things not, I mean, nothing that stood out. Just prison. I mean, there were a lot of people walking around. I don't remember anything beside that. But I do also feel like something from that prison followed me home. Even though I always say, don't follow me home, you can't follow me home, you must stay here. I do all that protection. It still followed me home. So be careful when you go to places like that, because it's like telling somebody not to follow you home. They're going to follow you no matter what, living or dead. You can't, there's not much you can do about it. So, yeah. So Mansfield Prison, very scary. I don't know if I would go back. If I did, it would only be during the day.